Hi, it's Kirby
and Dana
from KJF-TravelAdventures, and we're on day 6, I think, of our Wyoming National Park road trip. It's our second full day in Yellowstone. We're doing the Tower Roosevelt area and Lamar Valley and all the way up to like the north entrance of the park.
Correct.
Let's go. All right, so we've talked about GuideAlong in every national park trip we've taken, but if you're going to a place with a GuideAlong, do it. Not sponsored. Willing to be. Gary. Yeah, yes, we've named him Gary. And we also, because Yellowstone is so
Huge.
busy, massive, we purchased an itinerary from Dirt in My Shoes.
Yes.
So she has a YouTube channel with a lot of free resources. She's a former national park ranger. So she also has itineraries that you can purchase that will give you timed itineraries based on the number of days you're going to be there.
And she has done the research, I think from just visiting the parks over and over, saying like this is the best time of day to go to this place if you don't want to pull all your hair out trying to find a parking spot. That kind of idea.
You're never going to be the only one there, but it's designed in a way where you're going to find parking. Right, like it surprised us on our last day, which was our next vlog of going to Old Faithful, that's what you did last. But for her, it's the biggest parking lot. You're always gonna find parking there. So do these other things, right? Like go do this because it's on the correct side of the road. So it really helped us plan, and then in conjunction with GuideAlong as we were driving along for those side quests. So it really made the most of our trip. Today's plan is to head towards Tower Roosevelt and then do Lamar Valley. So we're driving up Dunraven Pass, but I had to stop for this view.
This hairpin turn that we're about to drive through has had a nickname since way back. It's called Mae West Curve. Now, if you're younger than a certain age, then you might have no clue who Mae West was. She was Marilyn Monroe, 30 years before Marilyn's fame. Some of her performances were considered a little too sexy for good taste by the censors of the time. So from back in the days before political correctness, tour bus drivers thought these curves were more dangerous than Mae West.
All right, we're at our first official stop of the morning at Tower Roosevelt. It took us a solid hour and a half drive from the west entrance to get here. We did pass a few stops along the way that had pot toilets, but the bathroom for Tower Roosevelt also has some pot toilets. There's also a Yellowstone general store here, open from 9 to 6. The general store also has restrooms that are open when the general store is open. Side quest on Slough Creek Road. It's a 2.5 mile gravel through the valley, ends at a trailhead.
I'm guessing that we've had some luck with spotting large-sized wildlife, especially bison and elk, which are some real crowd pleasers. The Lamar Valley is some of Yellowstone's best wildlife habitat, and those who have the time to invest in wildlife spotting will often focus a good portion of their time in this valley.
baby osprey in there. The Soda Butte Hot Spring Cone is actually not made from soda ash. It was another incorrectly named item. It's formed from deposits of travertine. And we're in another bison jam. There's a bison, multiple bison just chilling in the roadway. Finished our Lamar Valley exploring, and we're heading to Mammoth Hot Springs, but we're on a little side quest to see a petrified tree. We've officially reached Mammoth Springs area, and we're stopping at the visitor center area for some lunch. Hot Springs, exploring the lower terrace. That is called Liberty Cap. this is Orange Mound, so aptly named because it is orange and it's a mound. And bonus, there's no one else here. The lower terrace boardwalks are very popular and very busy. So we're enjoying the upper terrace loop, which is also still very busy, but we found a nice little quiet area here. These hoodoos of Yellowstone are not actually hoodoos. Hoodoos are typically sedimentary rock that are formed in pinnacle shapes. These were incorrectly named early in the park's existence and the name has stuck. These hoodoos are large travertine boulders that broke away from Terrace Mountain, which is just to the west of the hoodoos. We're making our way from Mammoth Hot Springs back towards our hotel, the West Yellowstone entrance, just stopping at random fun things that weren't otherwise on our itinerary. And we're at Clearwater Springs. Slowly making our way back towards West Yellowstone. We've stopped at Artist Paint Pots.
I like the paint pots because there are 3 interesting things to see in the short, just over a 1-mile loop trail. In the beginning, we see some dead trees that were killed by previous hot spring flows. You'll notice the bottoms of the trunks are stained and caked with white mineral deposits. There are some colorful hot springs and one very hot boiling pool. And of course, the highlight is the artist paint pots, which are boiling mud pots.
The trail to the paint pots might only be a mile round trip, but there is some elevation gain. We are going up there. If you're doing artist paint pots, when you get to the main area and there's a split, we went left to go up, and that was much more regular stairs. We came down the other way and it was more rugged, so I think we would do that way again, to go left and go up the stairs and come down through the forest. This is Beryl Springs. Be glad you can't smell it. All right, how was your day 2 in Yellowstone?
It was a good day.
It was a long day.
It was a very long day.
We drove over 200 miles in the single day from our hotel in Island Park, Idaho, all the way up to Lamar Valley, which is all the way east.
It took us an hour and a half to get to our starting point.
Yeah.
So.
And then we went all the way north, all the way out of the park north for Roosevelt Arch. So we covered like the full extent of the park.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really, Lamar Valley was just nice.
It's really beautiful.
Peaceful.
And cool, like temperature wise. So much of the park, because you're in the hot springs.
The geothermal features.
It's hot. And like it's summer. So the sun is beating down on you. That kind of hot, but also like it's coming from the earth too. So like it's really hot and dry. And we were way up in the mountains in Lamar Valley. So it was like, it felt more like, temperature wise, more like the Rockies sort of.
When we did Rocky Mountain last year. Yeah, it was just, I really liked Lamar Valley because it's like, when I think national park, I think Lamar Valley and nature and peaceful, and like, I mean, I loved the other parts of Yellowstone, but I also loved when we were one of the few only people in a place, so.
It was still busier than some other parks we have visited. Even at Lamar Valley is probably the least visited, or
yes, I think it's probably has the lower attendance of other places.
Like
Old Faithful, coming up in next week's video.
But it was way more spaced out human-wise.
Yeah, and we really liked the Dirt on My Shoes itinerary. It really helped plan our day. We love GuideAlong. We already said this, but get GuideAlong. Tell us what you named him. We named him Gary. Be prepared to drive. There is lots of gas stations and stops that you can fill up because Yellowstone is such a big park, so you don't have to worry about that while you're driving around. Anything else? Day 2?
Nope.
All right, I'm Kirby.
I'm Dana.
From KJF-TravelAdventures. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get notified when all of our new videos drop.
Bye.